On Gates Avenue in Bed-Stuy, Mama Yemisi, 62, softly arranges vegetables she buys wholesale from Hunts Point. Her neighbor, Mr. Cole, stepping out of his mini-mart, sees her struggling with a heavy crate. He laughs loudly. At your age? You still day hawk food for street? This city has finished you. When she bends to pick up fallen okra, he casually kicks her bucket aside to clear his walkway. People stare, but no one intervenes. She feels heat rise behind her eyes, but swallows the lump in her throat. A young man across the street lowers his phone after recording the whole thing. His expression unreadable. The young man, Imani, introduces himself shyly later. He says he records neighborhood life for a small community news page. He asks
why she lets Cole treat her like that. She simply says, because every fight costs energy. Mine is limited. Imani hesitates before saying quietly, I don't think Cole owns that store he's bragging with. He mentions an unfamiliar name, Odetala Holdings, LLC. The name stirs something old. It was the company her late husband used during the small building investments he made before he passed. But she thought everything was sold long ago. A mix of fear and hope washes over her. She decides to look for the one person who handled her husband's papers, his brother. She visits her brother-in-law's apartment in Crown Heights. He avoids eye contact at first, claiming he's busy. When she mentions Odetala Holdings, he stiffens. He reluctantly admits he still has old files but insists they're irrelevant. That night, she returns home to find an envelope slipped under her door. The envelope contains photocopies of property schedules, nothing dramatic, just lists and purchase histories. But one line stands out. Gates Avenue Retail Strip, acquired 2004. Held under Odetala Holdings. Her breath catches her own name is listed as contingent beneficiary. But the signature next to her name looks suspicious. She takes the papers to an elder Nigerian accountant in Flatbush, Mr. Tolu, who once helped her husband. He confirms the signature is not hers. Yes, someone signed on your behalf. He says rent money from the retail strip has been going to a managing cousin. The cousin, Bamidil, her husband's relative who vanished after the funeral. Imani helps her check business directories. They find Bamidil listed as manager for multiple community properties. It feels like a punch to the gut, betrayal layered on top of poverty. Twist. One document shows that Cole's mini-mart is listed under a lease signed 12 years ago, renewed last year. Signed by property manager, Bamidil, not the legal owner. Imani introduces her to
Rena accompanies Yemisi to the Department of Finance. The clerk initially doesn't want to dig through old files, typical NYC bureaucracy. But when Rena hints at illegal rent diversion, the mood shifts. The clerk pulls the original deed. The strip legally belongs to Odetala Holdings, still active. And the listed beneficiary? Not updated since her husband died. Rena files a preliminary claim to freeze any ongoing rent transactions. This alone shakes the entire strip. Cole storms to Yemisi's stand shouting, "You're trying to destroy my business." Residents record everything. Someone tags the NYC Consumer Protection Agency. A tenant steps forward with a stash of old rent receipts, all signed Bamidele. Another shows text messages, "Rent due Friday, cash only." These align perfectly with the forged documents. Rena tells Yemisi, "We have enough to file a legal challenge." Upon deeper research, they find bank transfers into an account connected to Bamidele. Dates, amounts, names, everything lines up. But one transfer stands out, a lump sum labeled Management Transfer Colemart. It was made 3 weeks ago. Cole tries to intimidate Yemisi at night, knocking over her stand again. A local deli's camera catches it clearly. When she reports it, police finally take notice, not because of the harassment, but because of the fraud claim linked to the property. Officers visit Cole's store the next morning. Other tenants, fed up, start siding with Yemisi. They share their own stories of sudden rent hikes and threats. One tenant reveals he once overheard Cole on the phone saying, "She'll never know she owns it." Yemisi's chest tightens, so he knew. NYC Finance locates a dusty storage box containing original transaction logs. Inside, Yemisi's name, her husband's signature, a draft transfer she never signed. This proves she is the legal surviving owner. Rena prepares a notice to serve all tenants.
Notices are quietly posted at dawn. People wake up confused, anxious. Cole sees him and freezes. He realizes the name on the notice, filed on behalf of owner, Yemisi Adeola. His shop goes dark for the rest of the day. Detectives locate Bamadiel in New Jersey. He tries to explain, claiming he was protecting the family property. He confesses that Cole encouraged him to keep Yemisi in the dark, saying she was too old and too soft to manage real estate. The case is forwarded to prosecutors. Cole files an emergency injunction claiming he's being unfairly targeted. But the judge reviews original deeds, rent diversion evidence, intimidation video. The injunction is denied immediately. The judge sets a 30-day deadline for him to vacate. The city finally records Yemisi as the updated owner. Cole storms into the plaza shouting, "This is not fair." People ignore him. A reporter from New York One interviews Yemisi. She breaks down in quiet tears, not victory, but relief. Cole approaches her trembling, begging for another chance. She listens without anger, but she calmly says, "Respect is not something I beg for, and your lease is over." She offers him referrals, not restoration. The community applauds her dignity. After months of slow, steady renovation, she opened Yemisi Farms Market. Locals show up in huge numbers. Her hands shake, cutting the ribbon. This is the life she feared she'd never have. A city council rep honors her resilience. Cameras capture a familiar face entering. Cole walks in, seeing her behind a glass office door marked owner. For the first time, he looks genuinely small. He whispers, "You own this whole place?" She nods. He nearly stumbles backward, ending, "I didn't build this to shame you," she says softly, "but to remind everyone that nobody is ever too old to rise."